Hello and welcome back to Tales of Lumin. Today we're talking about Blood Bowl. We're going to talk a little bit about the game that I played in the Speed Bowl League against Total Biscuit, which was my very first competitive Blood Bowl game. Sure, to many of you guys, it may not have seemed like a very competitive affair, because it's much easier watching something like this than actually sitting there on Skype with someone like Total Biscuit trying to make your moves in 40 seconds. It was so stressful. And I was nervous. That's actually one of the things that a lot of people pointed out, that I sounded really nervous, and I was. Total Biscuit has something ridiculous like 1.5 million subscribers. 1.5 million. That's a lot of people. And I got to sit in a Skype call with him, play a game against him, and he uploaded it on his channel as well. It's a big thing. It's a big thing for someone like me, especially because he is one of the YouTubers that I personally look up to as an inspiration. He really is. I am in awe of what he's accomplished with his channel. So the fact that I was able to do this with him, the fact that I was able to play against him, it still boggles my mind. It really does. So you guys are going to have to forgive me for being a little bit nervous. I mean, a lot of you know that I only recently started with the collabs. Like, what is it, 2 weeks ago with Gamer MD83 on Starbound. That was the very first time I've ever done collaborative commentary. The first time I've ever done a Let's Play with someone else on Skype. Sure, I may have multiple personalities floating around up here, but that doesn't count. They don't make me nervous. So, I was even a little bit nervous doing this thing with MD. She was nervous too. She's closer to the same size as me on YouTube though, and I suppose the same experience level when it comes to creating content. But then, I get dropped in the deep end with people like Wow Krendor, people like Dodger, people like Strippin from the Yogscast, people like Total Biscuit. The deep end. I also had to play this game at like 1 AM our time. I ended up waiting around quite a bit for Total Biscuit to just finish the stuff that he was busy with and find some time in his schedule to actually get the game done, because it was important that we got it done ASAP, seeing that we were holding the rest of the league up. But then I suppose it, at the end of the day, didn't really matter as much because Dodger and Northern Lions still needed to play their games. But that's another story for another time. I enjoyed it. I loved playing against him. I actually enjoyed the stress factor too. I think that it did make the game a little more chaotic than it would have been. You know, if we had 1 minute long, 2 minute long, 4 minute long turns, it wouldn't have been nearly as fun. I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. I think both of us could have played much better games, and that needs to be said. No one's going to play perfect with 40-second turns. Sure, I could have done quite a lot more in those 40 seconds than I did do, than I ended up doing, but I'm still reasonably happy with what I did, and there are a few plays that I would have done differently if I could go back and redo them, because I actually watched the whole game again without the commentary, so that I didn't have to cringe every couple of seconds at how nervous I was. But I went back and watched the whole game, watched all the moves that I made, and saw so many gaps that I missed. But you know what the one thing is that I'm super glad about? Is that I think I got a good idea of how to actually play Skaven. And I think that the team Skaven suits the style that I would want to go for anyway in Blood Bowl. I love it. I love the speed, I love the agility, and I feel like I didn't really get to stretch my legs in that game. As in, I didn't have quite as much faith in some of the high agility, high movement allowance units on my team than I should have had. I should have been more confident with them. And as I said, I saw a couple of gaps that I could have taken that could potentially have paid off huge. So I've learned a lot. I also checked the Reddit thread out, which I'll link below somewhere so you can have a look at. That's sort of the discussion of all the week 1 games, and a lot of people gave some seriously nice advice there, and so many people gave really nice comments as well. They gave me constructive criticism, proper input on how to play better, how to do things a little differently or more effectively, and I'm so glad about that. Even now, some of you guys have left such great comments on the video on my channel that will help me out so much. And I'm glad I did research. I'm glad I actually spent a bit of time to read up about what the Goblin team does, what some of those weapons do. I'm glad I found out that after the first drive, the weapons get just tossed off. If he used this special weapon ability on those crazy units that he had there, then they would get sent off after the first drive. I'm glad I found out about that, and a whole lot of the other stuff. Glad I read about the team's weaknesses and my team's strengths, because it helped me out. And I feel like I played an impressive game. I really did. But, you know, if I could go back, I would try and relax a little more. But as I said, I was super tired. Too much coffee in me, so, well, the nerves would play up anyway. I was actually shaken before that game. Let me just tell you that I was, because, again, it's a big deal. I mean, this is total, the cynical Brit biscuit. He was friendly. He was super accommodating. He was pretty much all I imagined he would be in terms of how he interacted with me, how we just got everything done. He even took the audio that I recorded and just mixed it together with his, synced it up nicely, sent it back to me really quickly. It was amazing. He's such a professional guy, such a friendly guy, which a lot of people, I think, wouldn't expect, seeing that he is the cynical Brit, but it was a pleasure. So if you do end up watching this, TB, thanks. Thank you so much. It was an honor to play that game against you. I really did feel bad about the terrible luck that you had with some of those rolls, because I feel like if those trolls weren't as stupid as that, you could have done just so much better. If your weapons didn't backfire quite as much, well, you could also have done so much better. There were a lot of things that just sort of ended up playing out in my favor that I'm obviously grateful for, but all in all, it was fun. I'm definitely going to make another video like this for the future games that I play, just for each of them, perhaps one, where I'll discuss it, a quick post-mortem of the game, and I think you guys will enjoy them, because I think I'm going to have a totally different experience with each of the people that I'm going to play against. I think I'll be slightly more relaxed going into my next game, regardless of who I play against, even if it ends up being someone really big. Maybe if it's WoW Krendor. I'll be much more relaxed. I've actually spent some time on Skype with him, as a lot of you know, so that already kind of means that it might be just that tad easier. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I will also just quickly thank all the new people that subscribed or came over from Total Biscuit's channel. You're amazing. You're amazing for having faith in me. Because a lot of you do. A lot of you just subscribe because I'm playing Skaven, and you guys, well, you told me the Skaven guys are your homies. So, in turn, I'm your homie. I'm glad to be your homie. I'll give you a virtual fist bump right now. Bam. Just like that. Straight up. So thank you for sticking around. Thank you for checking my videos out. And to all of you that have been around since the very start, thanks for having faith in me. Because I won. 1-0, baby. I think I could have had 2-0. There was one spot where there was such an easy score, such an easy goal that I just didn't spot. But regardless, I'm done. I'm finished. Thanks again for all the kind words, the constructive criticism, the input about the way I'm playing the game right now and what I should change, what I should think about more, and all the rest. It's great though. It really is, and I'm so looking forward to the rest of the Speedbowl League. And I think that I'm probably one of the people with the most enthusiasm going into this. I'm going into this for the fun factor, and the fact that I won my first game, well, that just makes it all the better. So if I keep winning, great. I will be practicing. I will be trying to throw some Blood Bowl games in between my Hearthstone games, because I'm also practicing Hearthstone for the upcoming Polaris tournament, and I want to do as well as I possibly can. I want to be the best. The very best. Like no one ever was. I didn't actually just say that. Put it from your mind. I'm done. Check back here tomorrow for another Tales of Lumin episode. Give this one a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. Let me know, if you haven't already, what you thought of that first game. Most importantly though, keep checking back here soon for more games. And keep cheering for Tales of Rats. Keep doing it. Happy that.